So this video today is about the new Z170 MX Gigabyte Gaming 5 motherboard. Now this is really damn good motherboard. But before we go into about this motherboard, I've got I've got two cases here. I've got quite a few cases, but these are the cases that I want to bring something out on. Right, so that motherboard will easily fit into this case, no problem. And also I've got this wrapped, so it's in a nice vinyl wrap gold, and yeah, I was thinking about putting that motherboard in there. Leave your comments down below if you think I should go with that option. If not, what about this option? Oh, this is the one I was talking about in my Random Tech video. Now this is the maxed out super mirror reflection case by Anades, and it's still got actually, hang on one second, and we've got the logo, and I don't know where I'm going to place it, but leave your comments down below or where you think I should place it on this lovely screen. This is Perspex, and then this is all mirror, black smoky mirror. Oh, and look at that. And all of these bits is so I can lay it down and not scratch or smash the glass. And it's got my maxed out logo right on here. And as you know from this year, I've changed it to MXDOUT. Look at that, it is crazy. All smoked out mirror here. And then on the front, we've got that as well, so it's all wrapped. And then we left some bits so we make it look a bit raw. And that's enough of that anyway. So that is what I plan to do, but I'm not too sure because Silverstone is sending us the PM01, and that looks like it can fit one of these, which is a 360 rad, and I am so tempted to just use that case. I've got some little plans that I want to do that I've been speaking to my girlfriend about, which has just come up with a very damn good idea, and yeah, I'm not going to talk about it now, but let's get to the review on the Z170 MX. Now obviously Z overclocking motherboard, gaming, yes we do video editing, hell we can do video, no not video production, what's it called, music production as well. You can use this for, because it's got enough memory and you can use all kinds of CPUs with it. Now when I mean all kinds of CPUs, you can go with just having, I think you can buy like a £50, yeah, £50 CPU, which is an 1151 socket, all the way to the top of the range version, 6700K. And this is an overclocking motherboard, and it's got the BCLK and everything like that, the multipliers and stuff, and the voltage up regulator. We're going to be having fun with this overclocking and everything like that. We've got the 6700K to go in there. We've got Intel Core i5 that I'm going to be getting. I'm going to test that overclock in there. That's going to be the 6000K, and then we're going to take it from there. But this is a badass motherboard. Looking at this lovely box, it's so nice and clean. Heroes, what a game. I ain't even played it yet. I am going to play it. I've heard good things about it. But this is an 1151 socket, and not just that, this has got Type C and USB 3.1 on there. Let's just crack the damn box open. We'll see. Let me just show you what it looks like. Yes, it looks lovely. That's what you get. A lovely motherboard. So let's go into the box and find out what you get. So we're going to move this to the side real quick. And that's obviously in the top box. And you get you get four SATA cables. Now you got two right angles, and then you got the normal slot in versions there, and then you've got the IO bracket, and it's got a nice little padding. You can jump like a trampoline on it. It's got a nice little black coating, and it says USB DAC up, so that's obviously for your audio. That's pretty cool. That's obviously yellow. Then for people that don't really know how to build computers properly, you got this little function, and you put the header cables into this little function here, and then you put it on the header motherboard, and then you plug it in and it should work. And then you get the manual, which is lovely. Look at that glossy GA-Z170MX motherboard Gaming 5. You get obviously the driver's disc, but you don't really, you can just use it. If you ain't got the internet, you obviously need to use it. But then obviously when you get onto the internet, make sure you get the driver's update. You got your Gigabyte multi-language installation guide. Then please get the hell away from my door because I'm gaming. You could use that for other things if you know what I mean. SLI bridge. Can you please give us a better SLI bridge? I really don't like this. Why can't you just give me something that's really decent? So there's an NVIDIA SLI bridge. And then you've got a G1 gaming badge. Now that looks really cool. It looks a bit shiny and it flashes and stuff like that. Well, it doesn't flash because it's got no LED lights, but Gigabyte, go on, make some LED lights for it. Look really cool. Then you've got the guide in different languages and stuff like that. Then what else is in the box? Oh, nothing else in the box. So that means we must be at the motherboard stage. So if I get the motherboard right out right now, we'll take this lovely out. Take this lovely motherboard out, and we've got a static bag to make sure everything's all good and everything like that. You get your cover over your 1151 socket. You've got all your DDR RAM slots there. You've got your 24 pin there. You've got your EPS, which is 8 pin right here. You've got we've got a CPU cooler fan, so you can regulate it to make sure that it knows not to just power on so much power through the fans and then makes it just go all too fast and really loud in decibels. This is what these are for. So you've got 1, 2, oh, and obviously for water cooling, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no 6, just to make it a bit even. No, you had to do that to me, didn't you? Got 5, obviously USB headers. We got these as well. Someone asked me in the comments down below, why do these wobble a bit like that? It's got like a little bit of suspension. It's got springs in there on the actual MOSFETs or heat spreaders, and it's to make sure that, I don't know, it's just flexibility on a motherboard. It's really cool. And then on this motherboard as well, you've got an LED strip, and that means that it will light up, make your build look super cool. Look at this, you got armored plater, not armored plater, what the hell is armored plater? You've got armor for your actual PCI Express slots. That is so sick. 3 of them in such a small motherboard. That means you put your graphics card in, and when it's up like this, it won't actually sag and bend your graphics card up. As you can see, we've got the nice little M.2 slot, 32 gigabytes per second of monster, just monster power. This is great for video editing, great for gaming, great for video production, great for music production, great for any production because it's super fast. This is the next step of being faster than solid state drive, and obviously having this drive connected into this drive, which is a USB 3.1. Well, this is faster than 16 times bus speed as what your graphics card was sitting. It's ridiculous for such a small motherboard. 32 gigabytes per second. Like a dongle, which I've got as a Kingston sort of dongle, the top of the range one, and that reaches around 200 megabytes per second. This is 32 gigabytes per second. Now you can get a gist of what I'm saying. So that's the old sort of generation USB 3. They're talking about Type C here, USB 3.1, and we've got M.2. That's what we're talking about, ridiculous speeds. Anyway, I love the metal plating for your graphics card, really cool. And note, 16 times bus speed for your graphics card. So when you use one graphics card, you get 16 times bus speed. Use 2 of them, this goes to 8 bus speed, so it shares it. Use 3 of them, and it's a 4 times bus speed. So if you've got one graphics card, make sure you put it in as 16 times. When you actually put a graphics card in there, you can have AMD, which is 3-way AMD or 2-way, and you can have 2-way SLI. Because I always get comments in below asking me which, like, sort of, can you have SLI in an AMD motherboard and everything like this. Runs with both, so you can have proper gaming going on. It's just the bus speed is actually halved and obviously tripled when you actually use 3 graphics cards. But anyway, DDR4, what are we talking about? We're talking about 64 gigabytes of DDR4, sorry, running at 3000 overclock. So that is pretty extreme for a motherboard at this size. 64 gigabytes, and then obviously you've got the 1151 socket CPU with its own memory clock on there. You're going to be having some fun. You got two USB 3s here, and this is if you got a case that has two big fat cables that can connect into this motherboard, you can have two USB 3s there. You've also got on the side here, you've got three express express SATA connectors, and then you've got four SATA connectors, which is up to 6 gigabits a second, and that's what you connect your solid state drive or your Western Digital or Seagate hard drives or mechanical hard drives. That goes there, 24 pin, and then you've got your 8 pin EPS, which is quite cool. Means you can put a load of voltage in it. So if we talk about what's on the side or on the back of the actual motherboard. Right, so on the back you got your old peripheral for your own keyboard and mouse if it's switched off in the bus and you can't use a USB or something else. You've got that right there. You've got USB 2s here, and this is very good, and it's yellow, and it says that it's for DAC, so you can put in a bit of an audio thing going through this motherboard, which I said it would be good for music production. And you've got a VGA out, and then you've got a DV out sub, and then you've got a Type C. You've got USB 3 of them, which is up to 5 gigabits per second. And this is obviously last generation. And you got the red one, which is USB 3.1, which is up to 10 gigabits per second, which is a lot well, it's double the speed of this. And then you've got the HDMI, which you can go up to 4K, I believe, on there as well, and have what is it? Is it 30 hertz? I think you can have 30 hertz or 60 hertz by just connecting one monitor to it, or it might be the DV sub that you can only connect two of them on 4K and get 30 hertz per monitor. But anyway, you've got a killer Infinite 2200 port, which means that this is more stable than your normal Infinite port that's on back of motherboards, and they've just improved it more better, so when you're actually gaming and stuff, there's less chances you're going to get hiccups and stuff like that. And then you've got an 8.1 surround sound audio gold connector, beautiful. I don't know, you can set it at the shop, connect to ports, and then you got optical out as well. If you're using optical, that little red beam of light like Superman's in your actual motherboard, you can use that. That's really quite cool. And that's about it. That's on the back of the motherboard. You also, I did actually forget to say this was the audio connector. You got one here that's an audio connector, but you got this one as well, which is what you would normally use. It looks like a USB, but it's just got a hole that's missing. And you also got one PCI slot that you can put something else into it as well. And obviously your BIOS battery, you got that there in case you need to do things with it. You got a turbo B clock, so a base clock. It means this is going to be wicked for overclocking. And on this, there's nothing on the back, because on the smaller motherboard like this version you probably have the M.2 slot on the back. But yes, as I'm saying, you've got loads of wiggle here. This is not broken or anything like that. This is just screwed down with some springs and stuff like that, and it gives it more flexibility. You got a Gigabyte logo there, looks really cool, and then it's all like yes, and it's lovely. And then you've got the G1 Gaming, yep, and it's obviously this dissipates heat from the actual what would this be then? What bridge is this? I can't remember what bridge it is anyway. But if you're going to water cool this, you could water cool that, and you can water cool this, and you can water cool that, and then obviously the CPU as well, and it will look pretty damn sick. When you've got it connected up as RAID 0, RAID 10, RAID 5 and all the RAIDs out there, then obviously the express ports do get cancelled and some of the SATA connectors get cancelled. So whatever way that you're actually setting this up, you've got to make sure that you know what you're setting up first, and make sure this motherboard is suitable for you. So if you wanted it just like to have hard drives, solid state drives or M.2 drives, then that's fine. But if you start doing RAID 0 and you're connecting this up and connecting that up, it could cancel out. And say you wanted I don't know, a few RAID 0 solid state drives, you wanted some really sick power, because obviously you can use 64 gig of RAM in here and it would just be ridiculously powerful and fast, then obviously you're going to have a few issues here. So the issues are just to take note that it will cancel out certain express ports or SATA connectors depending on how you set up your drives. But other than that, it's a super cool looking board, and this is just a kind of overview of the motherboard, aesthetic looks of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hold this up the right way, but I am going to put this in a build, as I said in the video earlier, and it's going to be water cooled and stuff like that. And we're going to put a GTX 970 in here, and we're just going to play around with it and go in the BIOS, and we're going to overclock. We're going to check out the software that you get with it, because they give you a bundle of software. And then I'm going to overclock like a normal overclocker, and then I'm going to overclock the software, which is like where you get software and you can easily overclock it just by, I don't know, sliding the switches in the software menu that's on Windows 10 or 8 or whatever, and it's simple like that. So I'm going to show you two different ways of overclocking, but this should be quite cool. And it looks like they've made this really well. It's got like holes that go straight through to the back, so it looks like it will dissipate heat very well, whether you're using a CPU cooler or water cooling. It's really cool. But anyway, that's the end of the review, and I hope you liked it, because if you like it, you know what to do. You give me a big thumbs up, share the video, because people want to know about like what's going on with motherboards and that. They might not be able to find something they might be having a problem with, and it's just really good to share stuff. And as always, I'll see you next one. Thanks for watching.